Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Liberty Report. I'm Daniel McAdams, your host today. Dr. Paul is still traveling. Today we're going to talk about liberty and especially the liberty movement. And I have a special guest to join me to talk about this, and that is Chris Rossini. Chris is the editor of a site you may not have known about, but you should know about. It's called, strangely enough, RonPaulLibertyReport.com. And it is the companion website to Ron Paul's broadcast Liberty Report. Thank you for joining us, Chris. Are you there?
Yes, Daniel. So glad to be with you today.
Good to have you on the show. Well, you know, as someone who's followed Dr. Paul for quite a while, I know you know that one of his main points is that interventionism has failed, is failing, and continues to fail. And Dr. Paul is very consistent because he points out that not only has it failed in economic markets, not only does it fail in monetary policy, not only does it fail with the Fed, but that same concept of interventionism fails in foreign policy. It fails in all of our foreign interventionisms. Everything that we've done, if you look at the wasteland that the neocons have created overseas when they were trying to create democracy, it's kind of similar to the economic wasteland that they're creating here at home. So I have focused much more on Dr. Paul's foreign policy in the interventionism abroad, and you have been much more interested in the economic and financial side of the interventionism. Chris, do you speak a little bit about the financial interventionism and how it's failed?
Well, the United States is, and much of the world, as a matter of fact, is run by a set of ideas called Keynesianism. And at the heart of it lies a central bank known as the Federal Reserve. Dr. Paul has spoken about the Fed for many, many years, going back to the 1970s. In fact, it was one of the main motivators for Dr. Paul to run for office. He saw the writing on the wall way back then, and boy, was he correct. Basically, the Federal Reserve has a monopoly control over our money supply, and they basically can print up whatever amount of money that our government desires. Now, that's an incredible power for government to have, a very, very dangerous power. You never want government to have the ability to fund itself without asking permissions, getting votes from Congress. And that dovetails into the wars that you cover so brilliantly on ronpaulinstitute.org. The Federal Reserve can fund whatever wars government wants. And it's reached a point to where even on the president's whim, they can send troops wherever they want in the world. It's a very dangerous power, and the Federal Reserve is the heart of the interventionist state.
That's a good point. It is the dark heart of the warfare welfare state. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of people in the U.S. that are still trapped in the R versus D prison don't understand that it's the Federal Reserve, which is the most hated enemy. It should be the most hated enemy of the middle class, of the working class. They devalue and destroy the currency so that the elites can be bailed out, so that the military-industrial complex can get rich fighting no-win, useless wars. So they really should, people that really care about the middle class, they care about falling wages, they should focus their lasers on the Federal Reserve. But the other thing that Dr. Paul says, acknowledging that the interventionism has failed, he admonishes us, those of us who are concerned with liberty, to be ready to have a coherent ideology of liberty, to prepare. And they're not necessarily beating down our doors to hear what we have to say yet, but we do have important ideas that need to be shared, and we need to be ready to offer credible alternatives. And one of the things that Dr. Paul has done since he's, quote, retired from Congress is to found this idea of a Liberty Report, and it's a broadcast like we're doing now, but as I mentioned in the introduction, it's also a website. And we started just over 6 months ago with the broadcast. The website is a bit newer than that, but speaking on behalf of the broadcast, I can say just a couple of interesting statistics. We're getting close to 20,000 subscribers for the broadcast on YouTube. We've had nearly 1.3 million views of the program. We've done close to, we're closing in on 200 episodes of the program as well. So we're growing and we're reaching a wider audience. But Chris, tell us a bit about the website. You're a little younger. You're our kid brother, I guess, but you've had some pretty impressive growth as well.
Yes, the website is newer. It's only a few months old. However, it's growing exponentially, I would say. I'm very excited about it and very happy to see the interest and growth in traffic. We're close to hitting 200,000 page views per month. And we're only a couple months in and without much advertising. So word of mouth is spreading quickly. And with the website, the way I look at it is it's really a hub for Dr. Paul's work and also related works. If Dr. Paul's on television, you can go to ronpaullibertyreport.com and find his interviews. He's also, now that he's not in Congress anymore, has much more time to write articles and has short comments here and there. Those also go up on the website. I also, along with our team, help to curate similar writings from around the web that complement our ideas. And as you mentioned, we are in a contest of ideas. And the government is racing to exhaust itself. It's bankrupting itself. It's doing its job for us. At that time, once the jig is up and people realize that they've been scammed, they're going to look for different ideas. And we really live in a tremendous time for the ideas of liberty because we have the ability to communicate like never before. Government thrives on controlling communications. But with the internet, we can now reach people in seconds around the world, and it's very, very exciting for spreading ideas.
So when our viewers decide to tune in to the ronpaullibertyreport.com, tell us what they would see on the page. What kinds of works would they see? What kinds of articles and things would they see?
Well, you'll first see the broadcast, like this show will be up. So we have the most recent broadcast. So if you miss one, you don't have to search for it on YouTube. You can go to the website to see it. Dr. Paul also makes comments, additional comments that you may not see on this show. He also, if there's breaking news, will put out a statement. The statement will go up on the website as well. I'm fortunate to be able to write columns as well for the website. And we find some of the most hard-hitting and truth-bearing articles out on the internet that we find on Mises.org, economicpolicyjournal.com, the Future of Freedom Foundation, Campaign for Liberty. There's a lot of our friends out there that put out great stuff, and we try to curate it for our audience as well.
And I think this has kind of been Dr. Paul's idea since he did decide to leave Capitol Hill and come back down to Texas, was to create something that really could be a hub for all of our friends. And you pointed out many of them. I would only add Zero Hedge and a few others. Of course, there are a lot of other blogs that we read regularly that are filled with people who are doing very important things on liberty. And we would definitely like to reach out to a lot of these people. Chris, I know you scour the web looking for things that would be appropriate for the site, and we're hoping we can find more people, and the more people will get in touch, and you'll be able to figure out how to contact us when you go to thelibertyreport.com. But Chris, do you have any final words? We're going to have to cut it out short, but do you want to let us know where you see things going with the website over the next few months or so?
For the website, I hope that it continues to grow as quickly as it's growing now. But for our ideas that we espouse, I'm very, very excited. When you look out and see the damage that government is doing, that's not exciting. However, in order for new ideas to be embraced or sought after, I guess that's what has to happen. The government has to exhaust itself, and they're doing that. I believe that we're well positioned for people that are in search for new ideas to help guide them. And what could be more exciting than liberty and living your life freely? I can't think of anything.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, I really want to thank you for stopping in and visiting with us a little bit on the Liberty Report. It's great to speak with you.
Thank you, Daniel.
And I want to thank everyone else for tuning into the Liberty Report, for tuning in. Some of you watch us live every day, and we appreciate it so much. Those of you who've caught the report and would like to keep up with us, please subscribe, youtube.com/Ron Paul Liberty Report. Go to the website, check us out. Let us know how you feel about what we're doing, what you think. But most of all, thank you very much for tuning in to the Liberty Report.